Hello everyone, welcome back to another video in the channel Charles More. Please be sure to comment, like, and subscribe to the channel Charles More. Please remember to keep your comments decent, not offensive. And let's get into the video. So, we're talking about Karens and idiots. And a Karen is, once the manager, the manager of a workplace. They demand that workers get their manager because they want to do their business complaining about the prices of a product and mostly because they don't like the product. Yeah, so that is my experience right there. And an idiot would do business complaining about lots of stuff to, anyone that complain about how they don't like the food cooked to their liking, how the room and the floors are not furnished to their liking, or the restrooms are not sanitized to their liking. That stuff. That's just basic complaint. There's quite a similarity between the two. And, business complaining, it just gets old fast. It just really does. That stuff. I don't know why people just can't just accept stuff for, what it. Why does everything have to be the way that people want it? Well, there's a word for that. And, basically they only just care about themselves. For the reason why they're baseless complaining? Well, I think mostly for the baseless complaining, I think in a way this has to do with they only just care about themselves at this point. So that would actually really sum up why there are people such as Karen and idiots just complaining all the time. And basis, just basis. Alright? Everybody knows that. Everybody knows it. That a Karen and an idiot will always do baseless complaining because why? Why? Oh, because they only care about themselves. Alright? And they want only what they themselves want. It's not about anybody else. Like, if you get inside an idiot's mind, an idiot would only just care for him or herself. Okay? And it's just, it's just sickening that there are actually people that just care about themselves. That's basically it. So, you know what? It does get old. It does. And, you know what? I can't put up with stupid people like that. You know why? You know why it gets old? That people do this, pretty often. And it gets old fast. It really does. I don't know why people cannot just accept things for the way that they are. If you're lucky enough, you wouldn't be doing that if your parents were around to tell you that, hey, the whole entire world doesn't revolve around you. So, so, yeah. So, yeah. Didn't anybody ever tell you that? Anybody ever tell you that the world doesn't revolve around you? Because, you know, last I checked, nobody seems to, understand that. Maybe you were just so much of a disgusting brat that, you know, your mother or your father just wanted to, like, kick you out of the house and that stuff because they just didn't want to bother doing their parents' thing. Because they just couldn't even handle you just being, like, on top of the world right there. You just acting like, you know, like you're better than everybody else. So, yeah. I mean, could that be a possibility why you got kicked out of the house in the first place? Maybe. Maybe. And maybe you've never been told that the world doesn't revolve around you. Mostly because your parents just didn't want to bother saying it to you or make you mad or whatever. Or, number two, they probably just kicked you out of the house because you were such that selfish idiot. Yeah. That could be possibilities why you act the way that you do now. I mean, I would just face it. I would just face it right there. You know, there are just the people here in the United States and around the world that, you know, they pretty much only care about themselves. There are other idiots, on TikTok and, you know, all that other stuff. They're like clout chasers and, you know, a lot of that stuff. And, you know, these type of people just, they make me sick, you know. Because basically they're all about themselves, obviously. Obviously. So, you know, I gotta say, I truly have to say that, you know, there are people that nowadays don't just care about themselves. Basically. That's what people are. They're selfish, they're about themselves. And, you know, that's just pretty much how people are nowadays. Alright? I'm sick and tired of, you know, dealing with people that actually just care about themselves, you know? It just, you know, it becomes, well, becomes pretty overwhelming, I have to say. And, you know, this is just how people are, you know? It's, you know, it's the way that the world works. Alright, there's people that are just, you know, they're just, you know, plain selfish and they only care about themselves. So, yeah. So, what does that say about people's behavior? Well, I gotta say, that was actually very pathetic, you know. I I just hate dealing with these kind of people. And you know what? Being friends with people that are just like self-centered and selfish all the time, it does drive me up the wall. It does. And you know what? Like I said, this gets very old. It gets old fast. The longer that you stay around these selfish idiots, the more and more you want to hear that I wish that they would just, like, shut their mouth and just, um, you know, live life the way that they're supposed to live it. I don't understand why that this is so hard for people to do, but, you know, this is just the way that people are, you know? It's obviously, I can't do anything in this video or say anything that will change anybody. I wish that were the case, that I was able to do that through magic, but, you know, I can't. But I'm gonna say this, though. If you are too busy watching this channel, or you tuned into this video, and you are just, you don't like what I'm saying in this video, then this video is not for you. Sadly, I gotta say that because, you know, in other words, I'm talking about growing up. Alright? And that's what I wish that people would actually, you know, I wish that they would do just that. But, you know, in a lot of ways, I don't think that people are just capable of doing that. Now, I don't know about other people, but, you know, this is just, you know, this is a problem. This is a real problem. I hope people would actually grow up and realize that, hey, the world doesn't revolve around you. Alright? You need to, like, accept things for, you know, what they are. Alright? Yep. This is what people need to do. Alright? They need to, like, stop their constant complaining. And they need to just, you know, accept things for the way that they are. I mean, it's not that hard. It's not that hard. And you know what? You know, I don't want to be telling stupid idiots to do this anyway, because you should be figuring this out. Really, I just, you know, I don't understand. I don't understand why, but just so hard about this. Alright, it's simple. It's simple. You grow up, you later learn in life after you become a preteen. Alright? And then once you make it past your teenage years, welcome to being an adult after you turn 18. And then, what happens then? What happens then? Yet, you fill in the blanks here. What happens then? You turn 18, and I think by that time, you might be in your senior year in high school, and then after you graduate high school, then you go off to college and that stuff. And then you have to deal with idiots that are just like self-centered and stubborn and they don't care about themselves. And yeah, you're gonna have to constantly deal with these type of people. And you know what? They only care about themselves. Alright? And graduating. Alright? 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 They're not there to put up with other people. Alright? They only care about themselves. And that stuff. And college to me was pretty difficult for me. It was difficult. Yeah. There were selfish people and they only care about themselves. A couple people came to me and they started like complaining to me about their problems and they wanted to be Mr. Fix-It. Which, by the way, I'm not. I'm not that. Alright? I'm not like a college, I'm not like I'm not a psychiatrist. So, yeah, so, truth be said that I'm not that type of person. So, don't expect me to fix your problems. Because, that doesn't work. Alright? Nobody else is going to fix your problem. The only one that's going to be able to fix the problems is yourself. And only you can change yourself. But you got to be willing, though, first off. There's got to be a wanting for you to actually just change. But, hey, you know how it is with people? Everybody knows what it is to actually be around idiots for pretty much your whole entire life. And I can tell you, it gets really, really old and that stuff. By the time that I left college, I was glad that I wasn't around these idiots. And that stuff. Basically, people in college dorms, they pretty much just treated the place like it was their own. Like, and in the shower rooms, I can't tell you how the shower rooms were. I mean, people just used it like their own personal bathrooms. Which was very, very disgusting. That actually was the disgusting part. Because, believe me, it was pretty disgusting. Especially their own personal crap that, people had to, like, see in the bathrooms. Okay, that was actually pretty disgusting. Yeah, and I didn't even like it one bit. Neither did anybody else. I mean, why would you actually, like, use the bathroom in a shower room when there isn't a toilet? But, it's like, it's like, hey, this is the way that people are. People just, nowadays, like I said, they only just care about themselves. So, yeah. So, I mean, like, what are you gonna do about it? These people only just care about themselves, and you can't do anything to change them. The only one that can change you is you. So, yeah. So, that'll be enough for this video. So, like was said here, please, again, comment, like, and subscribe to the channel, Charles Morse. Again, please remember to keep your comments decent, non-offensive, and this is Charles Morse. Well, I guess there are people that just only care about themselves nowadays. And this was the reason why I said, like, white people, especially idiots, complain about, a lot of stuff. Stuff that would affect, like, their enjoyment. Like, the furniture and floors, they're not furnished right, or the food's not cooked properly, or, the restrooms are not sanitized or liking, and that stuff. You know what? This is what stupid people do, and that stuff. And you know what? I'm not going down that loser path, because it's just stupid. Have a good day. I will see you all in my next video.